I'm impressed still by the unity of our community, that despite the way we may interpret some of the data or the evolving science, we're still passionately pursuing the promotion of a whole food plant-based diet. You know, I recall a statement from one of our attendees this year who said that science ends where ego begins. And I just have to say, in my general experience with this community, I'm grateful for the humility of our speakers, as we saw, and the general humility that I find amongst colleagues in this community. I'm just going to share just 3 quick slides in conclusion. So, pardon this for just a moment. And so it's just an encouragement. Just an encouragement as we move forward in the next year, as we move forward as a community, as we move forward with a movement. It's often been said by many wise people throughout history that we should study the ants. And we can learn a lot from the ants, but one of the things that I find most fascinating about ants, as we see here, is their ability to work together. This is selfless collaboration. These are ants that are stepping up and holding on to each other to cross and to bridge this gap. You know, it's not one individual, it's not one way, it's not one leader that bridges gaps. And we have a lot of gaps that needs to be bridged in our globe, as we've seen. We have financial gaps, we have reimbursement gaps, we have evidence gaps, we have integration gaps, we have acceptance gaps, we have global climate change gaps, we have a lot of gaps that need to be filled. And the only way that we're going to make this happen is through collaboration within our community. It takes humility, it takes selflessness, and it takes the willingness to work together. And even when we come up against some friction points and working together, it's the willingness to accept some of the friction and say we're working together to cross the gap, to move things forward for the betterment of individuals, for the betterment of animals, for the betterment of the climate, and for the betterment of the future that we're stewarding for the next generation. And so we see it's amazing when you study ants, how well they work together. They're willing to hold on to each other, they're willing to support each other, and they're willing to even walk over each other to get to the other side, but it's all done in a spirit of collaboration and leading with love. And then finally, you know, around the world, there are a number of trees, the sequoias, the redwoods, the cypress trees, who have root systems that are shallow. And the only way that they support each other is because the root systems become entangled in a community of trees surrounding them. And so it's a beautiful picture, I think, of where we need to go as a community. There's certainly a number of very powerful, very well-funded forces that come against us. There are a number of challenges that we'll be facing as a community in the future. But if we can develop the sense that we are supporting each other as a community, just as these trees do, we will withstand the storms and the challenges that face us. So I want to thank you as we close out and land this airplane of the 2021 PBNHC. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for all that you're doing to transform people's lives. We want to thank you from the Plantrician side for your support, and we want to thank you for attending this year's conference. Until next year, all the best from Plantrician Project. If you need anything or have questions or need support, we're always here for you. Thank you.